So TikTok finally got banned, which a lot of people were like, yay, that's great. And a lot of grifters are whining and crying and going to other Chinese apps. I just want to talk about it. So let's get into it. If you come to the TikTok site, US landing, sorry, TikTok is no longer available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the United States. Unfortunately, that means you cannot use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. In the meantime, you can still download your data. What my thoughts are going to be on what's going to happen, because TikTok's going to be back up. I truly think in my mind it's going to be put back up, even though a lot of people don't want it back up, me included. The problem is it's a moneymaker for anybody who can buy this. So what's going to happen, let me get my little character out of the way here. So what I think is going to happen, it is currently banned right now. So what that means is that TikTok is off all app stores. So you cannot find it on Google Play, you cannot find it on the Apple App Store or any other store. You cannot buy it. Now what you can do, you can still access TikTok, but you need a VPN to do it. If you have TikTok on your phone, as long as you have a VPN, you can access it. But as of right now, it's going to be banned. As stated on the TikTok website before, we're going to try to get President Trump to try to get a deal or try to change some of the problems that they were having that it got banned for, and go from there. So my next step that would be from the banning, sold. Someone's going to buy this. Like I said, it's a moneymaker. You have people like grifters. You have teenagers that think they can get famous on this. They want this back up, and this is a moneymaker for somebody who can buy this. It's just pure gold. So someone's going to buy this, but the app is not going to be the same, because what's going to happen is the Chinese are going to force the app to be different. And this is what I'll get into the code, which would be the next bubble, but what I believe is that the Chinese are not going to sell this, the TikTok that we know. They're going to make sure that certain aspects of the code are different, or it's to be bought at such a high price that it's outrageous for anyone to buy at the current thing, or they're just going to sell the name. Now, when we get to the code aspect, this is where either a whole new app has to be written under TikTok's name if the Chinese company is just going to sell the name, or they're going to have to change different codes, so kind of like Frankenstein. They're going to have to Frankenstein TikTok together, because the Chinese are going to probably be like, well, we don't want you to have this aspect of the code. Well, TikTok can't work without that aspect of code, so a whole new coding team has to come in, make their own version of what that piece of the Chinese code did, and they're going to have to Frankenstein it together with whatever they sell. The Chinese are just going to sell it all, and then just create a whole new app that mimics TikTok in its heyday that everybody knows and loves, and they're just going to call it something else. Now, I think that's what they're going to do, is just sell maybe TikTok as what it is, but have the new coders just have to Frankenstein together their code so that it becomes kind of unusable, because some aspects don't mix together. Some is going to be smooth, some is going to be choppy. So I believe that the Chinese company is going to create a whole new app just to sidestep this ban. Then we have TikTok. I think it's most likely going to die, because I see that the Chinese company making a whole new app and just sidestepping this ban. I think when they do sell it, because I think it would be stupid if the Chinese company does not take the money, just create something else and go, ooh, looks like you're going to have to ban our app now, our brand new one. But I think TikTok's going to die on its own. The new app is not going to be great, or people cannot get it quote-unquote famous or grift on the new algorithm, and people are just going to go to different things, or go to the whole new app that this Chinese company is going to make. For any of this to work, it's going to take time. So I do think that this is another nail in the coffin for TikTok, that it's going to take a lot of time and negotiation with this Chinese company to actually get it up and running. A lot of people are just best starting new or taking their following to another app. Now, TikTokers should have been doing this before the app got closed, saying that, hey, I'm going to go to Instagram, and hey, follow me on my Instagram, and start promoting like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, any other existing app to at least get their fan base to follow them. Now, a lot of them don't really have followings. They just have, most of them are like grifters that are like, oh, tap the screen, give me a rose, give me that rose. And they don't really have the following, and they're going to notice that. And I think a lot of the TikTokers are going to find out that, hey, I actually didn't have a following, now you have to go get a 9 to 5. I was just having idiots give me money, because that's really what it was. Idiots giving other idiots money. If the TikTokers didn't get their following to another account or another social media platform, then they have to start from scratch. And the problem is that, like I said before, this TikTok app is probably not going to be the same. 100% guaranteed it's not going to be the same. There's going to be certain aspects that the Chinese company doesn't want the US officials or anyone to see, and they're going to make sure that part is out of the app agreement of selling. And I can see negotiations for this probably going for a month or two, because there has to be the fine workings, there has to be ins and outs that's got to be worked out, kinks, like, hey, can we take this part of the code, or like, hey, can we buy this, and there's going to be pushback of, no, you owe us more money if you want that part of the app. So I just believe that, sure, TikTok's going to come back up, and I think a lot of people are going to migrate back to it because of the name, but a lot of these people are going to find out that this is not the same app. I believe the Chinese company is going to come up with I believe the exact same app as TikTok, but call it something else, call it something cutesy, and then everyone's going to flock back to that. So it's a lose-lose situation. So these are just some of my thoughts on what's going to happen with this TikTok ban. Like I said before, it's going to come back. It's going to be a shell of its former self. People are going to jump back on it because they think, oh, I can make free, fast money just grifting on it. Kids are going to be like, oh, I can go back to it and post whatever I want. But then people are going to realize, well, the algorithm's different. And the algorithm's different. I can't get following on here. I can't do the stupid stuff I used to get attention. So they're going to have to migrate to somewhere else. And that's where this new Chinese app's going to flourish, because they're going to have the same algorithm as TikTok did and glorify that stupidity. And everyone's just going to flock to that, and TikTok's just going to die. And that's the vicious cycle of these apps. Think of when Vine came out, then Musical.ly came out. That got taken down, destroyed, and TikTok took its place. It's the vicious cycle of these apps. They're always going to be eating themselves. Something new is going to come up, going to get famous, a band or financial situation that the app's got to go down, another app takes its place. So we're probably going to see something even stupider come out and be even worse than TikTok, because that's what happens. Like, it's a downhill slope for most of these apps. We went from like Vine, which was really good, then we're at TikTok. Now we're going to be at something else that's going to be way down in the shitter. But that's my video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See you later. Bye.